All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is Friday, August 19th, 2022, 4:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The current price of BTC 21,254 on Gemini. Okay, so I'm just using Gemini chart randomly. Okay, it is not like I like the Gemini exchange or all of that good stuff. Okay. So in today's content, we'll talk about BTC on a 3D basis, right? We will talk about BTC in terms of MACD on a 3D basis and on the RSI also, right? We'll also talk about BTC on on a daily basis, all the way up to the 3D basis. Once again, on the RSI, trend line resistance and all that good stuff. Okay, if we take a look at it on a daily basis, what we said, this week, I think, a couple days ago, we talked about the daily RSI breakdown. If it breaks down, we know exactly what to look for. Okay, so we will go ahead and review all that good stuff and basically plan for the next like a BTC uptrend. It is not going to be quite easy, but we will talk about like what type of supports, resistance we could be looking for going into September, October, and so on and so forth, right? So if you're new to our content, make sure to hit the likes. Okay, we only got 3 likes, 15 watching. Okay, it seems like all the moon boys don't want to hit the likes, right? So if you're a doom boy, make sure to hit the likes. If you're a moon boy, okay, let me know if you're a moon boy in the chat room or in in the comment section. Okay, that way that will basically get the job done for you. Okay, all right. So let's see if the sound is good. Sound is good. 589, right? 46.0 in the house. Nalo, thanks a lot for tuning in. Oh, T-Dog, Leroy in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. T-Dog, aka Leroy Jenkins. Quiet Cook, cooking some USDC in the kitchen and flushing some ADA down the toilet. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. We got Pablo S Crypto. We'll talk about the BTC dominance. I'm still waiting a bit to talk about the BTC dominance. I don't want to talk about it too early. Last year we talked about it like back in September before the pump, and we talked about it again in January before the pump. So we will talk about it when the time is right, okay? But we'll focus on BTC, this week and possibly next week, and we'll talk about the BTC dominance in September, okay? So now let's start off with the daily basis, okay? If you guys recall our first analysis this week, right? We talked about the daily time frame support, okay, in terms of RSI, all right? So what we said was like our first support was right here back in June 18th. That's when BTC bottomed right there, right here. Okay, and we got our second support like July 11th right there in terms of RSI. We did get a minor support, right? But price action, depending on how you want to draw your trend line, if you want to draw it as a moon boy, you could retest it. But if you just want to draw it like in terms of touches, right, it did not touch the trend line, so we just say a minor support right here. Let's use another color, okay? So, and we got our tertiary, another one right here, a minor support, right? Because price action did not retest the trend line. And you can see right here, we said, okay, we retesting our trend line support, right? However, price action was way above the trend line support, okay? That's why I was saying, yes, BTC could give us a cheap shot, right? By retesting the daily 100 EMA, right? Up to 20, wherever the daily 21 daily 100 EMA, wherever the daily 100 EMA going to be at. However, right, you don't want to basically try to play both ends, just play one end. And I was telling you, it is safer, right, to trade the downside potential instead of basically looking for 1,000 point move, when if we break the trend line support, you could even get like another 4,000 point move, something like that. Okay, so now that we're done with the parallel channel, there is nothing to talk about regarding the parallel channel. The only other possibility we do have, which is not even very probable, right, is like BTC, right, finding support right here at the trend line support 22K, and go back up to retest the upper level of the trend line support. okay? And we will talk about it in terms of the weekly time frame, not on the 3D, because on the next move to the upside, something to remember, I'm just going to repeat it. On our next move to the upside, right, we won't use the, the 3D 21 EMA. We're done with the 3D 21 EMA now for the rest of the year, probably, okay? As far as resistance, okay? It's not going to be a strong resistance anymore, right? So we will talk about the weekly 21 EMA going into a Q4 or even like a Q1 2023 and all that good stuff. But as of now, we just want to focus on the downside potential, right? Since we're done with our parallel channel, there is nothing to talk about regarding the parallel channel. Now we have to switch to our Fibonacci's, okay? If we do a swing low to swing high, right there, you can see, I gave you guys a hint last night, right? And I was like, the 50% pullback going to be somewhere around like a 21k, low 21ks, right here. And 0.618, if we break the trend line support, going to be at 20.1, okay? Let's just say 20k, okay? 20k, 50%, and 21k going to be a 50% pullback. Let's do this, right? That is our 50% pullback. We're already there. And 20k going to be 0.618 pullback for the short-term traders, okay? For the higher time frame traders like T-Dog and all that good stuff, right? You would be looking for like 0.786, right? All the way down to a full retracement, okay? Full retracement going to be somewhere around like a 17.5, 18k range, okay? Which is going to be at 0.888, okay? I think anything starting from like 18.2 and lower could be considered, right? Full retracement, right here, okay? 0.888 all the way down, okay? If so, I don't think, once again, the move down to the 17 right here, right, going to be a vertical line, okay? It could be, but I just don't want to be disappointed waiting for a vertical move all the way down to a 17 and we get a short-term consolidation right here, which could last like for a couple of weeks and all that good stuff, and people are going to be starting to call again 30k, 50k and all that good stuff, right? So something to keep in mind. Let me just repeat what I just said in terms of the daily analysis, right? Temporary support going to be in this range, right? If you want to take profits, you short it at 24k or higher, you want to start like taking profits right here in this box, maybe take 15-20%, whatever profits, and just adjust stop loss at break even, or just put stop loss at 24 or 25k, whatever, okay? Just in case we do get some short-term wicks to the upside, something like that, you're going to be covered, okay? And after that, we will see if we could basically take it all the way down to 17.5 or even down to the 16.2 later on, okay, in Q4, right? But I don't think we will get down to these areas that quickly or that easily, right? So now we're done with the daily RSI, the daily MACD, okay? It is going to be very, very important to keep an eye on it. It is just starting to shift down, and we got so much room to go. If we're going to make some new lows, we got so much room to go, okay? So if you're bull, you just got to be very patient, because this guy, right, it is going to be the key indicator and the transition time frame between the daily up to the from the daily up to the 3D. Okay, that's going to be the transition bearish pattern you want to watch, because if your daily time frame is negative, okay, you want to watch what? Your 2D time frame. Okay, our 2D time frame is not negative yet. Once again, you see why I'm saying like we just have to be cautious at 50% to 0.618, because if this guy decides, okay, not to be bearish, right, but to just give us a short-term pullback and decide to do this, oh gosh, we're going to go back up to our parallel channel. Okay, so something to keep in mind. That's why I was insisting, right, to make sure, right, to get some shots at 24k or at the 3D 21 EMA, whichever you're comfortable. If it goes high, bang, you could short it above 24k, or just wait, you know, to add to your position at, you know, the daily 100 EMA and all that good stuff. Okay, but need to watch our 2D MACD over the next like a couple of days or even weeks, right, depending on if it is going to cross negative or not. If it crosses negative, bang, okay, it's all yours. We're most likely going to retest these lows if the move is exaggerated like that. Okay, but we don't want to see a weak crossover like that. Okay, we don't want to see that. Okay, we want to see a very strong crossover. If you recall, on the daily basis, we did have a weak crossover right here. Remember, right? I was not very bullish, I was not very bearish with this crossover right there, and the Fed increased rate and market pumped back up to a 24.25. okay, and we just broke below that support where the Fed you know, raised you know, increased rate, right, on August 10th, right? So now let's do this. Okay, so now let's talk about BTC on the 3D regarding the RSI. Okay, so now we're done with the daily, we're done with the 2D. So now we're going to talk about the 3D time frame, and we're going to talk about first the RSI level. Okay, I think one of the Moon Boy mentioned it a few days ago in our chat room. T-Dog, okay, Leroy Jenkins, right? So yeah, I think someone mentioned it, right? The trend line resistance on our RSI right here, okay, and we did have a similar trend line resistance on Ether on the Ether dominance. Okay, so what we're looking for with this trend line is, like, since we're getting the rejection right here, and we could possibly, right, anticipate a possible crossover right here on our MACD, it means our trend line support, right, with the RSI right here could hold right around like a 20. Okay, if we get anything around like a 23, 24, that could indicate possibly, okay, BTC could be bottoming, right, temporarily. Okay, could be bottoming temporarily. We don't know if we're going to get a divergence, right, and going back up to create the double top double bottom like what we had right here, or if we're just going to create the wedge pattern, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to repeat it. Okay, so we could get a possible, okay, flat correction, right, something like that, if we basically hold the 20 to 23 RSI level, right here. Okay, we could get this pattern possibly. Okay, and definitely MACD could do some you know, something funny. It could cross over weakly, or it could cross over strongly. We don't know. Okay, depending on the volatility. Okay, we could get something like that, right? Or we could get what? A possible wedge pattern, something like that. Okay, right? We could get one of these, right? Or we could even get a descending triangle, descending triangle. Okay, something like that. Okay, this one, man, I forgot how to draw a descending triangle. Oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the descending triangle will be within the flat correction anyway, but just something to keep in mind. So we're going to get the blend in this range. Okay, meaning like the entire range right here. Okay, even above it, right, but just the entire shaded area right here going to be a very key level, right, to keep an eye on going forward within the next like a few weeks or even month. Okay, or even month. Okay, depending on the sideways correction and volatility and all that good stuff, right? So 3 different patterns we could get in this range going into 2023. Okay, so now we're done with the RSI resistance, right? MACD, we just talked about it, right? It could give us a negative crossover, but just need to watch the 2D MACD right here to see how it will behave first. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 3D channel. So if you take a look at it on a 3D channel, we talked about it like less than 48 hours ago, and what we said was like, okay, keep an eye on the bottom support right here, just about like a 22K, depending on when we're gonna get there. All right, so we just hit our support area right here. MACD, it is still positive, and if we go back and check our MACD crossovers, all right, over the last few let's say over the last 13 months, okay, this one right here, we caught it, right? If you guys recall, back in July 2021, we said it is time to go to the moon, right? Right here we said it's time to be cautious because we could be coming back down to retest the 3D21, and later on we got the entry right around like 38 to 39K right here. Okay, that was the second bullish crossover right here. And at the top, back in November, if you guys recall, we said what? Pack our bags right there. Okay, because we broke below our 21 EMA. MACD is negative. We're most likely going to be in trouble over the next like a few weeks or even month, depending on what type of a cycle we're going to get, right? So right there, we got a similar move in our premium. We talked about it right here. Okay, as soon as we cross positive, right, we said, okay, we don't expect BTC to break below the 32, 34K area because our MACD is positive. So that's why when we shorted at 44 back in February, we said buy back your BTC around 34, 35K. Okay, and right there we entered again. Okay, just about like after the crossover, right, the negative crossover back in the first week of April, I think like April 10th, 11th, second week, right? We enter another short right here all the way down to our target 25, 26K area. So guess what? Right here we entered another position right there. Okay, MACD failed to cross negative, right? What we said, whenever we get a repulsion, okay, meaning like your blue line doing something like that, right? Right, that's your blue line. And let's say your signal line, okay, is doing something like that. Okay, right here, if you see something like that, right, it is a strong volatility range you wanna keep an eye on, because it means like price action will follow your MACD. That's why we were shorting. That's one of the reasons, not that's why, but that's one of the reasons we were shorting what the BTC at 32K when everyone was looking for like let's say 40K, 50K, and all that good stuff, because we're shorting at 32, 31, 32K area, and we're looking for what, 21 plus minus 10, and we got that exactly. Okay, so ever since we got to a 21 plus minus 10, price action been moving sideways since when? Since like June. Okay, so it's been like 2 months. BTC hasn't done anything. Okay, we haven't seen a 10,000 point move, and we've been getting like 10,000 point move in our premium like since like December. Okay, since like December, the whole downtrend. So if you traded BTC during the 2018 bear market, and you traded BTC, or you're trading BTC in this 2022 bear market, you can feel the difference. Okay, back in 2018 by September, okay, most of us were like down 90%, 95%. But if you've been trading with us, right, since like December we said get out, right? So you're not going to be down like 95% and all that good stuff, 99%. Yeah, you would be shorting BTC, accumulating BTC, accumulating USDC, USDT, whatever, accumulating these coins, and still being up in the bear market, and the bull market hasn't even started yet. Okay, so a big difference between 2018 and 2022. Okay, to be honest, I was completely wrecked in 2018, right? By not basically playing the proper strategy. Okay, but we've been doing pretty well on the macro level with BTC. Okay, so we're going to be let me take a look at the chat room, right, very quickly. All right, so we got T-Dog, Leroy Jenkins in the house. So guys, if you have any question regarding any other alt, make sure to put it in the chat room so I can take a look at it after I talk about after I finish talking about Ether. Okay, because it is going to be a very short analysis, just to cover the necessary good stuff, and after that we'll talk about the rest. Okay. All right. All right. So now, just to keep it very simple, right? Keep an eye on your 2D time frame, right? Just to anticipate the the 3D MACD crossing negative. Okay, if this guy crosses negative, guys, it could look very ugly in the short term. Okay, even though myself I'm expecting 17.5 to a 18k range to hold. If not, we got the 16.2 macro support, right, which is going to be our 50% pullback. So let's get the transition up to the higher time frame. So if you take a look at the higher time frame, right, if you do a swing low from 4k area, March 2020, right there, and you do your swing high up to a 69, 70k, whatever you want to call it, right there, right, 50% pullback, going to be at 16.2, right, low 16k, depending on how you want to draw it. Okay, so and at the same time, our monthly 100 EMA, right, you got to remember, guys, we've been following these EMAs forever. Okay, we talk about our 21 EMA on a monthly time frame. We talk about our 50 EMA on a monthly time frame. So the next macro EMA we just have to keep an eye on going to be what? The monthly 100 EMA, and it is at 16.2, 16.5. Okay, which is not that far from 17.5. I wouldn't be being very picky between 16.5, 17. It really doesn't matter. If you buy BTC between 17.5, 17.8 down to a 16.2, 16.5, whatever, if we pump to like a 24k, 25k to retest like the weekly 21 EMA sometime later down the road, it won't make any difference. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Or if BTC goes up to like 180 to 100k, will it matter whether you bought BTC between 17.5 or 16k? Okay, so the only big difference I can find is like if we go all the way up, all the way down to a 0.618 right here. Okay, that's the only difference I can see, right, between 16.2 and that's the only big difference I can see. Okay, 16.2 and 11.7, 12k area, which is the 0.618. But I think it is too soon to be that bearish just because we're dropping below 22k. It's too soon to talk about like anything below like a 16.2. Okay, I will not be focusing on anything below 16.2 until we get a proper setup, okay, or a proper volatility to say, hey, now we got the deal, let's just stay short all the way down to 11.2 or somewhere around there. Okay, but as of now, once again, just want to focus on this area, the 50% pullback. If we get down to a 11, 12k area, 10k area, whatever, we will basically just reevaluate, right? So but once again, just have to repeat it, it could go all the way down to these areas, but I'm not focusing on BTC dropping down in the short to medium term down to these levels. Okay, maybe on a macro level, once we talk about BTC on a monthly, we will reevaluate and all that good stuff. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the chat room once again before we talk about Ether. We got 46 zebra. I want to talk about band. We'll take a look at band. Sherry Johnson. Sherry, thanks a lot for tuning in. Sherry is saying, you're my guy for the analysis. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not watching any Doom Boys. I mean, thanks a lot for tuning in, Sherry. Yeah, but you can still watch other people just to get like different views, you know, because, you know, sometimes I might be wrong, okay? So you can basically compare this analysis and at the same time learn from other people, okay? Because the way I trade the market and the way I look at the market, most people don't look at the market that way, okay? So sometimes I anticipate a lot of macro target, a lot of macro supports and all that good stuff when people, you know, looking at the market like different, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Ether very quickly. We already got 26 minutes, right? Okay, so Ether. Let's start off on a daily basis, right? So Ether daily breakdown. That's one of the biggest daily candle so far since you know, late July, right? So if we take a look at it in terms of MACD, we got a strong negative crossover, okay? It is basically stronger than the one we had like in early August, okay? And push right back up to break the 100 EMA resistance, and that's the same resistance I've been talking about regarding other alt, okay? The 100 EMA resistance was one of the biggest challenge for most alt. Some of them took a cheap shot and pumped to the 3D50. So does Ether, right? Ether pumped to its 3D50, but most alt could not break above the 100 EMA, okay? Very few alt broke out above the 3D, broke out above the daily 100 EMA, okay? So that's not a good sign. We closing negative, right, on our MACD, and at the same time breaking our daily 21 EMA. All right, that's not a good sign in the short to medium term, right? If we take a look at Ether at the same time, right, in terms of RSI, we broke below our trend line support right here, just like BTC. The only pattern I was worried about was like Ether does something like that. That's the only pattern I was worried about, okay? Giving us the flat correction, but it seems like it is not in play as of now. So we will just monitor the daily RSI over the next like a few days to see if, even if we get a sideways correction right here, it will continue down to the 30s or 20s down the road, okay? So we talk about Ether on the RSI and on the daily. Right now, let's take a look at Ether in terms of Fibonacci's. In terms of Fibonacci, right, the 50% to a 0.618 support going to be somewhere around like a 1350 down to like a 1250 area, okay? And if you go back to the July, June, July, not August, but June, July resistances, right? You can see 1250 was our primary resistance with the W right here, and it broke out to the upside, okay? So if we're going down, right, down the drain, we got to keep an eye on Ether for a temporary support right here, okay? Will it go back up 50% to 0.618 and does something like that? We don't know, but we will just monitor Ether down to this level, okay? So Ether short from 1950 and higher, it is still in play, all the way down to the all the way down to the low 1000s and all that good stuff. All right, I'm not saying 1350 down to 1250 going to be the permanent support. It is going to be a temporary support, okay? Whenever I say permanent, whenever I say temporary, it means like it is just for the short term, okay? It means that we just have to reevaluate for the next like a trade setup and all that good stuff, okay? Right, so but Ether downtrend, it is starting to get confirmed. All right, not fully confirmed, but it is starting to play out, okay? So on a 2D basis, we just have to be very cautious, right? Even though we breaking below the we broke below the 1710 support. If you recall, when Ether was coming down, all right, from here, right, from $3,000, our target was 1710. Okay, so we said if we go back up to 1710, it is likely to what, be a resistance, and it broke above 1710. We said, okay, we just have to suck it up, right? We know the macro trend for Ether, it is down. Even though we're gonna get our Ether merge in September and all that good stuff, the next resistance is going to be 1950 or all the way up to the 2150. Remember, we shorted also, after the support from 1710 back in May, right? When it pumps back up, to 1950, 2150 range right here, we said accumulate some Ether shorts, right, all the way down to the monthly 50 SMA, or even down to $1,000, and we hit that target 50% dump. Okay, so that same level of resistance, right, was acting as a strong resistance right here, 1950 up to 2150. Okay, just hit like 2050 depending on which exchange you used, right? So resistance played out well, right? But reversal on 2D, it is not playing out yet. Okay, only reversal on daily is playing out. Okay, we will be much more confident, all right, if the 2D time frame, right, gives us a better confirmation. All right, otherwise we could get some sideways correction with Ether. Okay, meaning like, let me change this to red before Leroy go ahead and buy everything expecting it to go back up there, right? So we the only challenge with Ether is like if it moves sideways in this range and gives us a top formation. Okay, that's one of the biggest challenge I can see if the 2D MACD does not basically cross negative. Okay, so I wouldn't be panicking once again, because we still got the weekly 21 EMA right there. Okay, we still got the weekly 21 EMA. So even if it pumps back up, it has to take out the weekly 21 EMA, all right, for like 2 to 3 weeks, right, for us to get a confident continuation to the upside, right? Even though the weekly time frame is weekly MACD is positive. So that's why I keep saying you cannot just say like the weekly MACD is up, we're pumping. Okay, most people who basically bought Ether because of the weekly MACD was positive, right, they're getting slaughtered right now. I'm not sure if they're gonna get slaughtered all the way down here, but what I'm saying is they might be panicking right now. Okay, when your weekly MACD or your 3D MACD crosses positive, right, and price action is below your 21 EMA, if you're looking for a short, wait for price action to hit like your 21 EMA resistance. It's very easy. Okay, it's very easy. All right, and that's how we played it with Ether. So keep an eye on Ether, right? Weekly MACD, it is still positive, but we're still below the weekly 21 EMA. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Ether in terms of in terms of 25 MA. So our 25 MA is at 2117 as of now. Okay, so even if we get some sideways correction, okay, some Wyckoff distribution right here, our 25 MA will give us a very challenging time, right, to break above it, right? So not sure if Ether will do something like that, but just in case we do get a short-term pullback up to a 1950 or even $2,000 resistance and all that good stuff. Okay, the 25 MA, if you don't know what it is, it is a very simple strategy. If we above it, we're in a bull market, right, a bull run, whatever you want to call it. If we below it, we're in a downtrend, just like what happened right here. Okay, back in 2018, dump right here, we got above it. 2019, you can see what happened. We got a nice pump up to 350, right? We dump below it right here, dump all the way down to $80, pump back above it and pump all the way up to 5,000. Okay, and you know, I just showed you, like back in April, one of the reasons why we were very bearish on Ether when Ether was above like a 3,000, and we were calling for Ether to drop all the way down to like you know, 1710, and after that we called for the $1,000 to a 950 support, right? So keep an eye on Ether. I think it is still in a macro downtrend. We'll see if it will follow BTC, right, with a possible flat correction, something like that, or a possible wedge pattern, something like that, right, or even a possible triangular formation. Something like that, descending triangular formation. Okay, all right, something like that. We don't know. Okay, we could get any of, you know, we could get one of these patterns, right, within the next like a few weeks or month, right, depending on volatility and all that good stuff. Okay, if you want to use your Fibonacci on a macro level, right, we talked about the 382 being at 1050. If you guys recall, when it, you know, dropped down to like a 1710, we said you know, 382 going to be our next support, but we don't want to basically rush it. We want to see how we're going to consolidate at, you know, 1710 to 2000 area, and we're going to be looking for $1,000 to a 950, right? So that's going to be the same thing. Okay, once we hit, you know, the low $1,000, we want to see what type of correction we're going to make. Are we going to dump straight down, or are we going to pump back up to a 1850, 1950, and then later on down to like a, you know, 650 to a $600 range? Okay, so if you're waiting for Ether to drop down to $600, you might be very patient, right? Because your weekly MACD is positive, so we're not going to break below like a $1,000, 1950, you know, very easily, because your MACD is positive on the higher time frame. Okay, so even if we break it, it could be a you know, just to break it to get a bull divergence, right? So just be very cautious if you're going to be bearish on Ether below $1,000. Okay, if you want to be bearish, not financial advice, right? If you're looking to save some liquidity, you want to save some liquidity when Ether, while Ether is, you know, above like a 1700 range and all that good stuff, and reaccumulate $1,000 in low. Okay, hopefully it is clear and ready to go. So let me take a look at the chat room once again. So I think we're done with Ether. K4 Liberty, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Thanks a lot for hitting the likes, guys. Okay, thanks a lot, Sherry, for your comment, right? Sherry is saying, oh, you've always been on point, you've always been right. Okay, been watching you for a while, you're the best expert out there. If I follow you, I won't lose, guaranteed. I don't know, you're gonna get wrecked one day now. Be ready for that. I'm just joking. Nala, Matic, and Dodge Sen. Okay, we'll take a look at Matic, Dodge, Band. Sen, could you take a look at on Solana on Coinbase? Band. Okay, so K4, are you talking about Matic, Solana on a low degree or on a high time frame? Because it all depends what you're looking for. Are you looking for the hourly or you're looking for the weekly, monthly, and all that good stuff, right? So let me know. But let's go ahead and take a look at Band for 46 Zebra. I'm pretty sure 46 Zebra is a moon boy. So he wants to take a look at BAND USDT. So BAND is still in big trouble, right? But one thing I like about BAND is like the weekly time frame is developing a nice bull divergence. Even though we getting a nice flat correction in terms of bearishness right here, we just have to keep in mind we're getting a bull divergence, and we still haven't seen yet a big pump, right, with this big bull divergence. Okay, we got one right here, but only created a correction after the divergence. So it means like a pump is coming for BAND, but we don't know when. Okay, we don't know when. So let's use our Fibonacci. Oh, I see now. Okay, we just hit that 0.618, right, at $1, 115 give or take, right, back in June, July, whatever. Okay, so it got to hold. If not, we could be going down to the 0.786 at 50, at 50 cents. Okay, hopefully, okay, MACD will not cross negative. It could be a very fast dump, and MACD basically pushes to the upside after that, and we could be retesting the 115 all the way up to $2 resistance. Okay, so BAND next support, macro support, going to be at 0.786 Fibonacci, which is going to be our 50 cents, 52 cents support, right? And resistance after that going to be 116, right, up to $2. Okay, because we don't have any gap in this range. Okay, but hopefully, okay, MACD will basically stay up. Okay, so it is at a very good level to be buying, but you're not expecting like a short-term pump. Okay, you're expecting a big pump. Okay, so if you buy it right now, don't expect it like to pump like in 24 hours or something like that. Just give it like 2 months, 3 months, okay, to give you a proper bullish pump. Okay, so next one going to be, let's take a look at Solana, because Solana does have a nice macro setup. Sol USDT. Okay, so Sol USDT, I talked about it back in May before the dump, even back in April. Okay, we talked about it with the big flat correction right here. The $30 support is holding. So the next temporary support in terms of Fibonacci going to be like mid 15. Let's just do this. Okay, I'll say 18, right, just to front run it, right, 18 to a $15 range. Okay, that's the 382 support. We got somewhere around like a 30 to 31, so would be looking for the next support right here. Okay, so I don't know if it will be the permanent support or if it is going to be just a temporary support for a bounce back up to the 30s. Okay, it is very volatile, so if you can catch it at support, it is always a good deal because it is very, very volatile. Solana, Matic, BNB, they're pretty volatile in terms of like a reversal, and Filecoin also, but you got to catch them at the right time. Okay, so it doesn't have to be the bottom, but you just want to accumulate them when they dump a lot at these macro levels. So now let's go ahead and move on to Doge. So Dogecoin, it is at macro support. Okay, I talked about it in my premium, okay, back in I think April, something like that. Okay, this range right here, okay, 5 cents to 7 cents, right? If you've been following our channel, it is the first macro reaccumulation range. We even talked about it when Doge was somewhere around like 12 cents, 13 cents. We said since we're expecting BTC to drop low, Doge most likely going to drop low. So the next macro support for Doge going to be the 50% pullback. If you don't want to accumulate at 50% pullback and you accumulated enough Doge at 382 Fibonacci at 5 cents, 7 cents, you might just suck it up and don't do anything at 50% pullback and just wait to see if it is going to retest like 0.618, because 0.618 going to be deeper, and it is going to be at 1.5 cents, give or take. Okay, so with these macro levels, okay, you're not looking for the perfect price, you're just looking for a range. For instance, the 382 range, what I said was like 5 to 7 cents. Okay, and you can see like we moved sideways for 2 months in this range. So if you already accumulated enough Dodge, right there, right, no need to be buying even like at 50%. Okay, because it won't make a big difference when we're going up to like $3. You see what I'm saying? It won't make a big difference. All right, yes, in terms of percentage it will, because it is a 50% dump, but you get the point. You know, if I'm looking for the next 2 to 3 years, 3 cents, right, up to 5 cents, it's not a big deal. Okay, it's not a big deal. So I would rather, once again, wait for the 1.5 in case we get there. But in terms of MACD, we're starting to get some juiciness right there. Okay, so it is starting to get a lot of activities on a weekly basis. So okay, so yes, Dodge could dump down to 3 cents, right, but it won't be a big deal on a macro level. The only big support you would be looking for, not financial advice, would be 1.5 to 1.3, give or take, right, at 50% pullback. Okay, and at the same time, that's going to be our previous all-time high, right, January 2018. Since BTC retested its previous all-time high, you know, nothing wrong. It would be nothing wrong for Dodge to retest its previous all-time high. And we know generally Dodge doesn't break out until BTC breaks above all-time high. So if you're a Dodge coin moon boy, you got to know the deal. You got to know you got a long way to wait. You got a long way to go. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what the moon boy said. Matic. So Matic, once again, it is a very, very volatile coin. Okay, just like Solana, AVAX, BNB, they're pretty volatile. Okay, so Matic, I did a macro analysis back in May regarding the retest of the low 30s, 29 to 31. It retested that level and pumped back up to the weekly 25 MA, just like Ether. So been following Ether. So support going to be right here again. Okay, just in case we do get a macro flat correction or even a triple bottom right here before a pump to the upside. So we'll just respect the 30-cent support on the macro level. On the low degree, you got temporary support at 60 down, all the way down to 68. Okay, 75 to a 68 is the temporary support. You cannot see it on the weekly, but if I did if we take a look at it on a low degree, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so we got a trend line resistance on our RSI, right here. Okay, so if we break the 30 cents, we just have to suck it up and take it all the way down to 15 cents right there. But that's going to be a different type of analysis, because I don't think we will get there anytime soon. Okay, right here, 15 cents to 10 cents. Okay, we've seen XRP, okay, back in 2018, it pumped all the way up to 360 and dumped all the way down to 9 cents. So you don't say like Matic cannot get down to 11 cents to 15 cents. Okay, if things get out of control, right, and BTC dropping below 16.2, right, 15k area, and the BTC dominance going back up 50%, okay, 55%, you got to think about it. Most of these auto will lose like 50% of their value into BTC. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you just have to be very cautious and be very patient at the same time. Okay, but in the short to medium term, let's see what the low 30s right here going to do. right there. Let's just adjust it, right? It seems like bulls are respecting the bull market to be to start right here, okay? November 2020, okay? First week of November 2020. And most of you guys, if you've been following me, you know exactly what happened in the first week of November 2020, okay? That's when we started the bull run for alt. We got that 30 cents, and then after that we got the 50% pullback. We'll talk about it later on, okay? All right, let's take a look at the chat room. So I think we're done with Band, Matic, Solana, and Dodge, all of them on the macro level, right? Let's take a look at the chat room to see what Leroy wants. Sam, don't forget the super chats. Thanks for the comment section. Thanks a lot for the 10 bucks K for Liberty, making me buy more XRP. Okay, so we just talked about Solana on a macro level, right? Macro. So Solana, yeah, the macro, keep an eye on it around the mid 10s, right? Mid 15, I would say 15.5, 17.5 area, okay? The 50% pullback. Just want to take it step by step. You don't want to front run the 0.618 too soon, depending on if you're buying Solana like for the next bull market, or if you're just buying Solana for a temporary swing, like, you know, let's say from $15 to you know, $28, $27, okay? Because if you're buying at these macro levels, right, you're buying Solana at 17, you're not looking to sell it at $40, okay? You want to wait for it to break like above all-time high, like let's say 2x, 3x, okay? Then you could be starting to sell your bags, okay? But let's see what 17, mid 17s going to give, right? Okay, we got 52 minutes. All right. Rob is saying, could you remind me why you say 16K? Because I have 16K as the monthly S2 support, right? George in the house without an E. Hey Sen, great to see you back. Thanks a lot for tuning in, George. Chronic Call, looking for Hex. Okay, for 16K, it is very simple, right? It is 50% pullback, and at the same time, we got our confluence region, right? The monthly 100 EMA. But these are monthly time frames, so don't expect BTC to hit it like in August, okay? It could take a while, okay? The 50% pullback from macro swing low, you know, 4K, swing high 69, 50% pullback, it is going to be somewhere around the low 16. Not exactly 16, but who cares between 16 to 16.5, okay? I don't think Leroy does, okay? So, but 0.618, it is going to be at 11.7, okay? But we're not going to focus too much on 11.7, right, as of now, okay? We will take it step by step, and we'll see, you know, what type of correction we're going to get at the low 16, right? Is it going to bounce back up and then dump right here, or is it going to bounce back up and create a wedge pattern, then reverse? Because we know BTC loves 0.618 and even 0.786, okay? But you just have to be very, very cautious, like anticipating those macro supports too early, okay? If you short to medium term trading. If you're buying like for the next bull market, I think like 16K, 11K is not even a big difference. Even buying at 21, you know, and then buying at 17 and buying at 15, by every 2,000 point drop, you just accumulate, you won't feel the difference. Your average going to be somewhere around like a 15, 16, okay? But if you're short-term trading, like, you know, let's say a month to a 3 month, yes, you wanna, you just wanna be very, very cautious, okay? And if we go by our monthly RSI, right? I already made that video for my premium group, right? BTC is at a very, very good level to be buying and being ready for the next macro bull run, okay? So whatever you buy below 20K, below 21 actually, right? You just want to suck it up and hold it, okay? If 10K is the lowest you're expecting, okay? If you buy anything below 20, not financial advice, right? You want to suck it up and forget about it for, for the next macro target all the way up to 180, okay? So that's a macro view, not the short-term view. I'm not saying like, to get in and out between 21 and 10K and all that good stuff. All I'm saying is, if your goal is 2025 peak, right? If you buy BTC below 21K, below 20K area, you should not worry about like even like 30K, 40K, 50K and all that good stuff, because your next pivot to the upside is all the way up to 180 to 200K. We talked about these prices, guys, back in back in May 2019. We talked about like BTC going all the way up to 180. We talked about the 60K, 50K, 70K resistance and all that good stuff, okay? So we just don't know when we're going to start the bull run, right, for that move. We just don't know, but we know we're very close. It could be anywhere between 3 to 9 months. We don't know, okay? Anywhere between even 6 months to 12 months, right? We could be bottoming, right? Very clear on your on how you want to trade the market, right? Are you trading the market for the short term? Are you trading the market? Are you accumulating BTC at 20K and it drops down to 75? You're not going to be panicking. You're going to be like, okay, that's for the 2025 peak, so I don't care, okay? And I'm gonna Shiba in for 5 years. I mean, yes, you could, but it's not going to break out until BTC breaks above all-time high. That's one thing we just have to remember, okay? They're not going to break out like 50x, 100x. I mean, they will, but you know what I mean, right? You're not going to get that 100x result until after BTC breaks above all-time high. And BTC could be breaking above all-time high possibly, okay, sometime in 2024, okay? Mid 2024, late 2024, we could break above all-time high and go for a 6 month to a 9 month pump, okay? And once BTC breaks above all-time high, you can reduce your BTC exposure. Let's say you got like 0.1 BTC, okay? Right? You got 0.1 BTC and BTC breaks above all-time high, 69K. Okay, I was 100% in BTC. Bang, I'm gonna reduce my BTC exposure down to 50%, 60%, whatever you want. You're gonna buy all these nonsense coins, right? And then just wait for the next 3 to 6 months for those all to pump like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x, and then you just get out and go back into BTC or back to a USD, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Hex for chronic call. Yeah, give me guys 1 second. Oh, It's almost 6 o'clock. Give me guys 1 second, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and go for Hex. So Hex USD, I gave you an analysis, right? I think like a while back, right? And we talked about the 3 cents, right, down to 186 range, and we already hit that range and pumped back up to the resistance, 5 cents, 6 cents, and all that good stuff. Let's do this. Okay, so if we use our Fibonacci, right, of course, okay, we use that you know, support from the previous pump from the started like back in August 2020, and support was right around like the 3 cents area. Okay, so 0.618, right, going to be somewhere around like just about like 1.8. okay, I mean 0.0186, which is basically what we said in this box right here. Okay, okay, that's the support area. And if we drop lower, you could be looking for the 0.007. okay, but I talked about it a while ago, okay, back in like, you know, I think like January, okay, when this guy was above like 25 cents, 30 cents. Okay, I was telling you guys 4 cents down to 0.018 cents. Okay, we got to get above the weekly 21 in order to get a confident pump. Okay, so let's go back to the chat room. Okay, Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Okay, BCH is one of the only few coin, right, breaking below, okay, or even looking to retest below the March 2020 lows. Okay, so that's not good, but it doesn't have enough history. Let's go ahead and take a look at it on BCH on Wabi. I think Wabi. Wabi. yeah, can't find it on, just finding the contract but not the let's do this. I think Wabi has the longest history. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, Coinbase too, but so it is very complex. Just been moving sideways, you know, in the last 4 years, just like a Litecoin. So retesting the support, the March 2020 supports right here. Okay, if we break below it, it could be very ugly. Okay, it could dump like 50% below the March 2020 low. So you would be looking for like $35-$40 if we break these, if we break the 75. So okay, because they like to do it whenever they break macro support, they dump like 50-60% below that support just to wreck everyone. And but if you get a chance to buy it at the, you know, at like, you know, under $40, $35, it's going to be a good swing buy for the next like a pump to the you know, previous macro resistance. Okay, as you can see right here, that's a March, that is the March lows right here. Okay, it actually dumped already below it 20%. So retesting the 28 lows, right? If it breaks it, you're looking for a 50% dump below it, looking for like $35 on average. Okay, it could be anywhere above it, but $35 will be a good range to be looking for if we break the $75 support. Okay, let's go back to the weekly. So yeah, I mean, our side, it is saying like it is, you know, it is at a very good level to be buying, but sometimes you just have to be patient after you buy. When our side dips, like let's say down to 26, because it could take like few weeks, okay, to get the proper reversal back to you know, 70s. That's where you want to be selling at. So but just accumulate while the RSI is, you know, this low, like below 30 and all that good stuff, and at the same time we break in below the macro support right here. Okay, so let's see if we're going to get either a flat correction right here and retest 35-30 you know, $35-$40 range by Q. I wouldn't say buy, but sometime next year you could be looking for a big pump after that, right? All right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. It's already over 1 hour. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in, right? Weekly MACD looks Julish. You mean on Hex? Just be cautious, okay? Whenever your weekly MACD pushes to the upside, just watch your weekly 21. Are we above the weekly 21? No, so it's not a big reversal to rely on, okay? All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the likes just to support the channel. That's the only thing you can do. Or you can join the public Telegram group, link in the description. We also got a premium group members, right, for the Discord group. So if you're looking to join the Discord group for the short-term analysis, macro analysis, BTC, alt, and all that good stuff, you know, you can always contact me through Discord and all that good stuff. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Be cautious out there. BTC on the monthly basis, RSI, it is still saying buy the dip, so I wouldn't be panicking if you're a macro trader. You're looking for the next 2 to 3 years. We're most likely not going to be anywhere around these levels, right, in the next like 18 to you know, 36 months. Okay, Short term, it could be pretty volatile depending on what type of trader you are. 1 hour trader, 6 hour trader, daily trader. You just have to be cautious. Go with the trend. Put a stop loss, take profits, readjust. That's all you have to do. Don't try to make all the money in the world. Market will take it all back.